On a quiet Halloween morning in rural Ohio, the Lisky family's day began like any other, until a nightmare unfolded that would shock the entire community. Beneath the calm exterior of their home, a harrowing sequence of events would soon claim 3 lives, leaving one man at the center of suspicion. In the northern suburbs of Toledo, Ohio, the Lisky family lived in a blended household of 5. This included 53-year-old Bill, his 48-year-old wife, Susan, and their 3 children, Devon, Derek, and William. Devon and Derek were Susan's sons from a previous marriage, while William was Bill's son from his first marriage. The family appeared to live peacefully in a spacious home nestled on hundreds of acres near Lake Erie, close to national parks and wildlife preserves. Hunting and fishing were their shared passions, activities that brought them together in the great outdoors. Susan, an office manager for the Northwest Carpentry Training Board, loved gardening and camping. She was known as a devoted and loving mother. Bill, a retired Air Force veteran, shared her love for nature and outdoor life. Their children, especially William, spent much time near the shores of Lake Erie. As they grew, the children attended church every Sunday, blending quietly into their rural surroundings. But William's temperament was far from peaceful. From a young age, he was irritable, bullying other children and stirring conflicts wherever he went. His parents initially dismissed his behavior as mere mischief, hoping it would fade with time. Instead, William's disruptive tendencies only intensified during adolescence. By age 15, his actions had escalated, resulting in multiple run-ins with the law. By 2002, at 16 years old, William was placed under house arrest after a serious incident. He had threatened self-harm, and when police intervened, the situation escalated into physical violence. In 2004, William faced juvenile assault charges. During a heated argument, he struck Susan in the chest. 2 months later, he attacked her again, hitting her on the head with a coffee mug and stealing her car. Shaken and overwhelmed, Susan pressed serious charges against him. However, a diagnosis of schizoaffective disorder rendered William unfit for trial. All charges were dropped, but the rift between William and Susan only grew wider. Bill made the difficult choice to place William in a psychiatric group home near Lake Erie in Sandusky. Despite treatment, William remained a threat to those around him. During his stay in Sandusky, he engaged in multiple violent confrontations with law enforcement, even while Bill was present to pick him up. His condition showed no sign of improvement, and his agitation only worsened. In the fall of 2004, at 18, William's aggression turned terrifying. One morning, he attempted to attack Susan while she showered. Though Susan managed to defend herself, the assault left her physically hurt and emotionally drained from prolonged abuse. That night, Bill made the painful decision to expel William from their home. From then on, William was forced to survive on his own. The strained ties between William and the family worsened, especially with Susan and his half-siblings, leading to frequent clashes when they crossed paths. Over the following years, William received sporadic treatment for his disorder. By 2007, despite the ongoing struggles, Bill remained steadfast in his commitment to help his son. He sought legal guardianship over William, aiming to secure his release from the psychiatric hospital. Bill hoped to place William in a halfway house or group home where he could receive more suitable care. Though medication could somewhat control William's symptoms, he often refused to take it, convinced he was fine. Instead, he turned to alcohol and marijuana, worsening his behavior and complicating treatment. Thanks to Bill's efforts, William was eventually released from the hospital. He was placed in a rehabilitation center with relatively few restrictions. However, his visits to his father's home remained tense and fraught with conflict. Around this time, a neighbor's family reported their pet dog shot and killed. Suspicion fell on William, although no evidence ever confirmed his involvement. While it was just a pet, the incident cast a shadow over William, raising unease in the community. To limit William's contact with Susan and neighbors, Bill often took him to the family's cabin in Carroll County on weekends, hoping time away might soothe his son's unrest. The cabin was a few hours' drive from their home in northern Ohio. Bill used these trips for hunting and conversation, hoping they might ease tensions and improve William's troubled state of mind. Sadly, these escapes offered only brief relief, failing to heal the deeper wounds. William's animosity toward Susan remained unshaken, and his mental health continued its downward spiral. A family friend, Mark, recalled numerous conversations with Bill, who frequently voiced concerns about the family's safety as William's violent outbursts escalated. Bill often reached out to Mark for support during these crises. Despite the physical harm he endured, Bill was determined not to give up on his only son, convinced William would never deliberately harm his family. On the morning of October 31st, 2010, Halloween, Devon, Bill's 16-year-old stepson, returned home around 9:30 a.m. After spending the previous night at his biological father's house, Devon prepared to change clothes before attending church. As he came downstairs freshly changed, he was surprised to find William there. This struck Devon as strange since William had already moved out and rarely stayed at the family home. The couch had been converted into a makeshift bed, a clear sign that William had spent the night. Their interaction was brief. William asked Devon where he was headed, how long he would be gone, and how he planned to get there. William's unusually talkative manner caught Devon off guard given their history of tension and frequent arguments. Devon dismissed this sudden friendliness, answered quickly, and left for church. By 1:30 p.m. after the church service, Devon returned home. He went upstairs to his room to play video games. Soon after, something felt off. The house was eerily silent. Curious. Devon descended the stairs to check on his mother and stepfather, thinking they might have overslept. His shock was immediate when he found them still in bed, his mother's legs dangling off the edge. He reached out and tapped her leg, trying to rouse her. That's when his eyes caught the pillow stained with what appeared to be blood. At first, Devon thought it might be a Halloween prank from the previous night's party, but the grim reality soon settled in. The family had been brutally murdered. Overwhelmed, Devon fled the house and called his Aunt Lori. In that frantic moment, he did not think to check on his brother Derek or his stepbrother William. Lori immediately alerted the police and rushed to the Lisk residence. When law enforcement arrived, they were met with a grisly scene in the master bedroom. Beneath the sheets lay the lifeless bodies of Bill and Susan. Bill had been shot in the face while still in bed, as if caught in sleep's final moments. Susan had suffered 3 gunshot wounds to the head, and evidence showed her body had been moved post-mortem. Forensic analysis later revealed she had also been bludgeoned after death, adding another layer of horror. In another part of the house, a locked door attracted police attention. Breaking it open, officers found 23-year-old Derek curled up in his bed, also murdered. He had suffered blunt force trauma to the head with a bloodied hammer nearby, matching his injuries. Forensic investigators concluded the family was killed in their sleep, starting with Derek, followed by Bill, and finally Susan. Muddy footprints traced a path around the house leading to a pond in the backyard. Investigators initially suspected the murder weapon might have been discarded there, but after draining the pond, their search yielded nothing. 3 members of the Lisk family lay dead: Bill, Susan, and their son Derek. The autopsy revealed another brutal detail: Susan had been sexually assaulted after death, deepening the chilling nature of the crime. Aunt Lori wasted no time informing police that she suspected William Bill's son as the perpetrator. William had a documented history of mental illness and harbored a deep resentment towards Susan. He had previously threatened and even assaulted her, making him a prime suspect. William had spent the night at the house before the murders, and the family's white truck was missing a detail that further implicated him. Neighbors reported hearing noises, possibly gunshots, around 6:30 a.m. on Halloween morning. Living in a rural area, they dismissed the sounds at the time, unaware of the horror unfolding. They recalled Bill and William returning from a hunting trip the day before and attending a Halloween party with the family that night. Everyone appeared in good spirits, but neighbors noted Derek's absence unusual, given the known discord between him and William. William rarely stayed overnight at the Lisk home, but since Bill and Susan had been drinking at the party, they allowed him to stay. This rare exception would prove fatal for the Lisk family. Reports suggest that when Devon returned home that morning before heading to church, William may have already murdered the family. The fact that William spoke to Devon implies he deliberately let him leave unharmed. Phone records show Derek made his last call at 2:02 p.m. the day before the murders. Authorities quickly tracked William to the family cabin where he had been hunting with Bill less than 48 hours earlier. Bill had taken a week off and they had returned home just a day before the killings. A police officer spotted a white Ford truck matching the missing vehicle's description and decided to check the cabin. The truck was indeed the family's, confirming William's presence at that location. Surveillance footage from a nearby restaurant captured William purchasing a sandwich. Forensic teams searched the cabin, collecting the truck and William's clothing as evidence. During his initial arrest, William faced a single murder charge, allowing police to detain him pending further charges. The decision to bring additional charges would rest with the jury. When transferred to intake, William was instructed to wear a suicide prevention suit. He refused, prompting an officer to supervise him closely. The officer insisted on the suit, leading to a physical struggle. During the confrontation, William scratched the officer's face, escalating tensions further. As tensions escalated, another officer stepped in, brandishing a stun gun to force William into compliance. Reluctantly, he donned the suit. Despite this confrontation, authorities chose not to press additional charges against him. Half of these charges stemmed from premeditated murder, while the others were tied to aggravated robbery. William entered a plea of not guilty on all counts, with his attorney mounting a defense based on insanity. He was remanded to jail with bail set at a staggering $3 million. Months later, William appeared in court once more. Facing 6 charges of aggravated murder, he underwent a rigorous 30-day evaluation to assess his competence to stand trial. At just 24 years old, William was accused of brutally killing his father, Bill, his stepmother, Susan, and her son, Derek. Should the court convict him, William faced the grim prospect of the death penalty despite his documented mental health struggles. Following 2 separate competency evaluations, the court ultimately deemed William fit to face trial. Confronted with the possibility of capital punishment, William shifted his legal strategy. On August 12, 2011, during a pretrial hearing, he pleaded guilty to 3 counts of aggravated murder. In exchange, prosecutors agreed to forgo the death penalty. The court sentenced William to life imprisonment without the chance of parole. Before sentencing, William expressed remorse for the murders, attributing his actions to the influence of Satan and his ongoing mental illness. William's long battle with mental health was marked by frequent lapses in medication, which only deepened his condition, despite the tireless efforts of those around him, especially his father, Bill, who never gave up searching for treatment options. Family tensions only worsened. Tragically, Bill's unwavering love and persistence were met with a devastating end. His life cut short by his own son. Thank you for joining us on my channel, 13800-1703-606-00-17-14-572. For those captivated by mysteries worldwide, our new channel, Latin Crimes, explores gripping true crime tales from Latin America. Subscribe now to stay tuned for more compelling investigations.